It's me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers. We're live. So exciting. Alrighty, let's dig into the reading today, which is a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state this is in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in the outside world. So if we're having interactions with people that don't please us, if the environment we live in isn't great, if our neighborhood is too loud, there are things inside of us that are, I guess we'll call them the limiting beliefs that make us think that we can't change these things, or that somehow this is the way our world is. But we have to shift and see that, no, we don't have to live here. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do this. We have to shift our energy to what is best for our manifestation. So welcome, thank you for joining me today, and we're going to start with Divine Masculine because he has the most cards showing. All right, let me get my ego out of here and channel for you. Okay, top of the deck, overall headspace for this Divine Masculine is the Star. So the thing that's on the forefront of his mind right now is hope, and hope for divine feminine energy, hope in the healing that has occurred, I think, on his behalf, and on their behalf, I should say, of the union, not just on his alone. But I feel like there's this reverence here for this star energy, for this divine feminine in his life. And this is, of course, consuming his mind. This is at the forefront of his mind. So this is all that his thoughts are about. Revealing this star, illuminating, bringing light to the divine feminine energy inside of himself, having fully integrated. There's Kylie. I don't know if you were here or if it just told me that you were here, but the top of the deck forefront of Divine Masculine is the Star. So he's thinking all about the Divine Feminine and bringing her to the light, and also that healing that's going on, and he's got a lot of hope. He has a lot of hope for healing, for renewal. The niggling thing in the back of his mind is a card from the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I almost forgot what it's called. The Well card, which is an additional card in the deck. Now what's interesting is in the traditional tarot, the last card is the World. But in this tarot, there are 23 cards. This is actually the second to the last card, I think. Yes, the Well. And it's about drawing from the divine. It's kind of similar to also the Fountain card in the Fountain Tarot, where it's about like this convergence of things all coming together, and it's about patiently waiting for that inspiration to come as well, because the next card after this, I think, is the Artist, if I remember correctly. So it's like, if you're still along that journey, like, you're drawing inspiration from the divine, and then it's culminating in the Artist, which is the last card in the deck, of that particular deck. So the underlying thing, the thing that's underlying all of his thoughts, all of his ideas, is this convergence that's taking place. And also this divine feminine, she's got like an incense burner here. I'm just looking at this picture because I don't get this card very much. And I'm also thinking about like a wishing well too. So there's like all of these things coming together to finally be able to see what it is that he desires finally come to light. But the first thing on his mind is the actual final card in the tarot, the World. But it is in reverse. You know what else I think is interesting, Kylie, is that this is your fave deck, and I haven't used it in a while, and I picked it, and now you're here. So there's that. And so the World is in reverse. So when we see the World in reverse, it's about something not being completed, a cycle not being completed. And the man on the corner drives me crazy, the yelling man on the corner. It's like voices in my head. But I looked out there and there's a dude in the microphone. Anyway, all right. So he's thinking about how this isn't quite yet over. He doesn't have this completion. And the completion, of course, in this deck is a divine feminine. Well, kind of androgynous figure, but mostly feminine here. And it is like she is the center of his world. Outside there is incredible chaos. There's like horn going off. There's the man that's talking into the megaphone. I wonder why he does that every day. And starting at 6:30 in the morning, and I wish I were joking, and it's like total chaos outside. And it was just really quiet in here a few moments ago. I was surprised at how quiet it was. And now it's like intense. So Divine Masculine is having the same experience. It's been real quiet, and now everything is kind of thrown into chaos because we're approaching the end. We're approaching the completion. This is his desire. And we know from having traced this journey throughout the last however many months that to reveal Divine Feminine is to fully have integrated her and then allowed her to be revealed to others, is like what has to happen in order for the two parts of self to unite and manifest. So I do feel that he senses that this is about to come to completion, but it's also like really chaotic, and these two worlds that have to blend together bring their own sort of chaos. There's trust issues, there's abandonment issues, there's residual past relationship issues. It's just everything that everybody brings all together when they blend those worlds together. And then the next thing on his mind is this Queen of Cups in reverse. And this is about Divine Feminine. At first I was like, is this a past feminine energy? But I do not think it is. I do believe that this is Divine Feminine. It's in the present placement. So I think so what we're seeing is his Divine Feminine, which means his internal Divine Feminine. So the one that matches him would be on the Divine Feminine side. But right now there's a feeling, or he's thinking of himself as not able to control the emotions that he has. But it's not like the Page of Cups in reverse we saw in the reading with Grace Strega yesterday. It's an even more intense version of that. And it carries with it more maturity, but also more protectiveness. So he's feeling this outpouring of love and adoration, but he's also really guarding it and protecting it. He might be being a little bit too overbearing in terms of how he's trying to move forward right now. This fierce need to protect what it is that he desires is accompanying this outpouring of emotion. He's feeling also the potential, or he's thinking about the potential. I keep saying feeling, but we're looking at the headspace. He's thinking about the potential of Divine Feminine's emotional overreactivity. He's really, really, really concerned about whether she will be able to and it's not necessarily that he feels that she's going to be emotionally manipulative in some way, or even that he's even that her emotional reactivity isn't appropriate. What he's afraid of is just seeing it. I get a sense that he's I'm not going to be able to handle it. If she, her joy, her sadness, if she has anger, if she has any of the feelings she has, I don't know if I can take it. I feel like I will break down. And there's that fear there for him of like, I don't want to break down in front of her, right? So there's not only, he can't see her do this because he doesn't want her to see him this way. So there's definitely that aspect in that card as well. And that's one thing why he's guarding and protecting, or feeling so overprotective in general, because he's just afraid of being seen this way. The next thing on his mind is the twin flame journey, the Two of Wands, and it's definitely a feeling of it's time. There's no more waiting anymore. There's no more fear about the uncertainty of where he's going. He knows exactly where he's going at this point. And he's also there, I'm kind of getting a sense that we might have another, just like we have divine feminine, we'll sometimes have like deviations in the collective. I feel like there are some divine masculines who have decided not to follow this journey anymore, or they might be resisting the journey. It might be that they've had an experience with an overreactive divine feminine, and it's just made them be like, you know what, on second thought, I don't know if I can do this, and there's a fear there. But I'm not getting an overwhelming majority. If I was going to do a percentage, I would be like, 10% of it feels like it might be in that situation. For the rest of the divine masculines, it's merely just, it is time right now. We've been waiting, and it's really time. And there's a sense that there's a feeling of trust in the journey too, because when it's upright, there's the are we there yet sensation, where you're constantly asking the divine, like, why is it today? Like, why isn't it today? Like, like that kind of stuff. That's also a thing of the past. The next thing that's coming up is this Hierophant card in reverse. So this is about lessons being learned, but it's really about the releasing of limiting beliefs that have to do with the blending of the two worlds. So what I see here is that for a majority of us in the collective, there are past relationships here that have, perhaps they could have past children, they could have just, entanglements, there could have been property owned, there could be all different kinds of things like this, but there are two separate worlds, and they had some kind of past energy with them, most likely another legal contract. And the chaos that is ensuing right now, the difficulty in completing the cycle, is the blending of these two worlds, which have rigid, authoritative, controlling figures in the mix. There are overreactive, emotional divine feminines. There are rigid and stubborn and controlling divine masculines, because they are reflecting back to the divine couple the distorted versions of themselves that are now part of the past. Both of these cards are in the past placement for me. So this is not like this current energy that he's thinking about. This is him thinking, wow, how are we going to possibly blend these two worlds together? How can I be the most protective of this, of our love, so that we can absolutely have a successful journey? The next card that clarifies the Queen of Cups in reverse is exactly what divine masculine wishes for from the divine feminine aspect of self, and the one that's reflected back to him from the outside world. He wants her, he knows how much that she loves and cares for him and has so much compassion, and also her own overprotective energy, which is like, don't come for my mans, like I will cut you, like she's like, get away from my mans, like, okay, like don't give him shit, like. So he's also knows that she's very overprotective too, and what he wants from himself and from the reflection of divine feminine is for her to be his favorite thing, discerning, clear, like seeing clearly, being able to strategize and be effective and command her emotions, have conquered them, not let them, take her out of her divine feminine power. It's interesting, there was one song today, it was a Nicki song, I don't know the title, Shun Sui, don't know if I pronounced that right. And it ended with this beautiful pronouncement, which is why we love Nikki. She says, "You're in the middle of Queen right now." You're in the middle of Queen right now is the greatest damn lyric I've ever heard, and what I'm going to tell anybody when they're having a conversation with me. I'm going to be like, oh, just so you know, you're in the middle of Queen right now. Also, love that for us. Anyway, she says, you're in the middle of Queen right now. I lost it because it went up. I see why she called this shit Queen. This bitch is really the fucking queen. I love my fans. I love you so much. Okay. So the energy that dominated the entire reading was this energy. Why? Because for the longest time, the energy that's been dominating the entire reading has been Emperor energy, King energy. And now what's important is the integration and balancing of the feminine. So Divine Masculine desires for himself to have a strategy to conquer his emotions so that he can proceed forward slowly and steadily in this Knight of Pentacles energy with a very solid and reliable offer. So what he's thinking about is, I am ready to integrate feminine energy. I am ready to reveal my divine feminine. I understand that I need to draw inspiration from the divine to do this, that there is this great convergence bringing all these things together, that there is this chaos that has been a part of our past, that we have to be very discerning and strategic about, blending together, as I said, about the actual card. And then finally, we have to do this slowly and steadily. So in other words, like, I'm ready for this journey to be ended. I'm ready to come into this cycle with you, but I want to do this the right way. So let's go one step at a time towards what it is that we truly desire. This is a super mature masculine energy that I'm feeling. This is not confused. This is not being childish. This is really, really being in touch with his emotions, but able to navigate them in his headspace with clarity. That's balance, right? The first card in his heart space, the top of the deck, is the Wheel of Fortune upright. So he's not resisting his destiny and fate. We saw that in him accepting the twin flame journey. Oh my Lanta. Now we're using the Rachel True deck. We're seeing him accept his fate, accept his destiny. And when you do that, when you just grab onto that wheel and shift into that alignment with the divine, your fortune is really positive. So there's really, really good fortune and good luck here. And he's also feeling a freedom that he's never had before. The niggling feeling in his heart space is the 10 of Wands in reverse. So he's still having a hard time really feeling comfortable burdening divine feminine. And I think we're going back to that past placement in the headspace where he is thinking and worried about the convergence of the two worlds with the past legal contracts or any sorts of past energy that would be come in the way or be in the way or be a problem for divine feminine. He's really reluctant to do this. He wants to tell her, he wants to communicate, but every time that he starts to want to express this, there's this sense of like, no, like all I want to bring her is joy. All I want to bring her is happiness and union. I don't want to bring her chaos. I don't want to bring her anything that could make her unhappy because I'm trying to make up for how unhappy we have both been for so long. But it's not his job, right? It's not his job to try to manipulate divine feminine's happiness or lack thereof. That's definitely not his job. So he's got to resist this feeling. The first thing we're seeing, clarifying the World card in reverse, is the Lover. So when I pulled a card for Kylie, who stuck around for my live shuffle today, she got the Devil, which is yesterday in the reading we got a question: what happens when you see the Lovers and the Devil together? And I just thought of that, and there was a lot of different interpretations you can have from those two cards. But what I see is the Divine Masculine that feels that this desire for this healthy bond, this healthy emotional bond, this healthy and supportive, loving version of the Divine Masculine and Feminine sacred union. And for these two to be able to come together, there has to be this blending of these two worlds. This Queen of Cups in reverse is being clarified by the Three of Swords upright. So we're seeing Divine Masculine having a lot of heartbreak. And this is what the emotions are about: causing heartbreak, experiencing heartbreak, feeling overwhelmed by the consequences that have taken place in this entire experience. Because it's like there's a feeling here of like, in order to have my desire, I've had to destroy my world and someone else's world. And I have been destroying worlds this whole time because I destroyed the one that I had before in the past. And I was constantly chiseling away at the one I wanted in the future by taking so long to relinquish the past. So he's really reflecting on those wounds in the heart space and feeling regret here. And this Two of Wands in reverse, well, shit. Here's the Star. And we already saw it. It was the top of the deck for the headspace. It was the overall thing in the headspace. He's ready to reveal this Divine Feminine. But in revealing this Divine Feminine, he both causes and repairs and heals those wounds from the Three of Swords, because he's bringing his Divine Feminine energy to the light, and any past energy that would be unpleasantly surprised about this will experience heartbreak and pain. The Hierophant, I cannot even tell you, is being clarified by the Moon, which makes this reading so far major, 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 major. That's a lot of major energy, which means this is a big shift for Divine Masculine. It's a big change. And this is what is clarifying this Hierophant card. And this is literally the shadow work that needs to be done to release limiting beliefs. And this is in the past placement. So Divine Masculine has used the dream space with Divine Feminine. He's used the 5D interactions with Divine Feminine. He's used his own 3D meditation techniques. Maybe he's doing some kind of a program where he's doing subconscious unraveling of limiting beliefs. But he has been doing this, which prepares him to be able to ground that union in the 3D. It's also another card of illumination. The Star is about illuminating the light within. The Moon is about illuminating and finding where the shadows are. I'm so happy with Divine Masculine's reading today. It's beautiful. Here's the Prince of Swords. This Knight of Swords energy. only a Knight of Swords could appear before a Queen with any chance. If this was the Knight of Cups, before the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Wands, this Queen of Swords cuts a pretty frightening, intimidating persona. But the Knight of Swords can approach a Queen of Swords. First of all, he takes his strategy from her, because she's the one that's doing the strategizing. So he is following her plan. He is in his integrity. He's chivalrous. He's committed to a cause. And he's being very honest with himself. So this is the type of energy that can present with the truth and bring clarity to that divine feminine energy so that there can be this union. And who is this Knight of Pentacles like slowly and steadily becoming in this process? The King of Pentacles, which is freaking amazing. So he's this specific iteration of a divine masculine energy. He's grounded in the material. He's abundant. He's a protector and a provider. And he has mastery. Cool. Let's look at divine feminine. Oh my, stop. So stupid. All right, let's dive in. Top of the deck, overall headspace, forefront of the mind for divine feminine. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And this is from the Fountain Tarot. And what I am seeing so clearly for divine feminine is her being like, don't be attached to the outcome. Don't be attached to the outcome. Don't be attached to the outcome. Don't. You can be happy if you're not attached, right? That's what she's doing. She's singing that little tune in her head all day long. She thinks about her material happiness and she's like, oh, it's so, I can see it. And she's like, don't get attached to it though. It's okay, but I can, that's literally what she's doing. It's all she can think about, and it just keeps waffling back and forth and back and forth. It's like, it's here. It might not be what you think it is. It might not be what you think it is. So she's guarding herself from getting a little bit too excited about what she sees is potential for her to have something really good for herself. She's like, is this it? Is this real? The niggling thing in the back of her mind, underlying all her thoughts and decisions, is the Fool. And it's not a resistant energy, so it's not her being foolish. It's not her worrying about being foolish. It's about her wanting something new, a new interaction, a new beginning. She wants to throw caution to the wind and just go for this 10 of Pentacles. But she's like, just be careful. You don't know exactly yet what this material happiness is going to look like. It's coming. But you don't know what it's going to look like. So she wants to just take the leap, but that's directly countered by the forefront of the mind, which is like, no, be careful. But I want to do, be careful. This could not go the way you want. Also, you could be wrong about what you're leaping towards. Be careful. So she's got a lot of that going on. The first thing on her mind is strength. So this is the first thing on her mind. Number one, this bitch is strong. She dominated the entire shuffle today. She was like queen. So she's strong. She has a sense of her own strength. But because this card is upright, we also know that she's not being too egotistical. She's having the ability to control her pride and ego at the moment, which is what's allowing her to sense that material happiness is within her grasp if she can release that attachment to the outcome. And it takes a lot of strength to do this. It's taking a lot of strength to hold that lion's mouth, to keep it from clamping down on its outcome. Like, I want this. And she's like, no, you wait. The food is going to be good if you wait for it. But you don't get attached to whether it's going to be the zebra or the freaking hyena. The next card up is exactly the same card in the exact same place, in the exact same position, headspace, Queen of Cups. But Divine Feminine is not emotionally reactive right now. She is using her strength. She's using all of her strength. Right now, Divine Feminine is very much navigating her emotions with skill. She might feel overwhelmed by them at times, but she's realizing that she allows herself to feel them anyway. And it doesn't necessarily cause her to react. She just swims in them. She's also trying to be caring, compassionate, loving with herself. The next card that is coming up is the Two of Swords in reverse. This is the standstill that we've been in, the refusal to make a decision because you're afraid of what's going to happen. Divine Feminine light feels like a choice has been made, either for herself or a choice from someone else. She's also really wanting to release this tendency she has to be very, overprotective. This is a gorgeous image. One of the best Two of Swords. And it's interesting because in all other Two of Swords, the swords are crossed over the chest. But in this one, there is this like opening up of the heart space. And I think that is what Divine Feminine has chosen to do. She's chosen to open up her heart, which when you do it makes you vulnerable, which is difficult, makes you sad, makes you have a lot of emotion. The next card up is this Eight of Wands in reverse. So she is trying to suppress this motion, which is trying to hold back a lion, right? There's this motion she's feeling, and she's really kind of trying to hold it back a little bit because she's worried about being too attached to the outcome of what will happen, of what is going forward. There's also her having to control her ego in terms of lack of messages, lack of direct communication. There has been only indirect communication, or there may have been no communication at all. And this is very difficult for her. She has to control her ego in regards to this. But the next thing is beautiful. It was here yesterday in the reading with Grace Strega. The Ace of Swords, and it's clarifying the Queen of Cups upright. So her emotional mastery and sensitivity has given her this clarity about what it is that she desires and what she doesn't desire. And she's using all of her power to hold the space for this new idea, this new future. Because the Ace of Swords it's like a lot of clarity about what is coming, what is next. And then we're getting the Page of Wands in reverse. And this is just such a joyful little child here. And so that was clarifying the Two of Swords in reverse. So this is that suppression of the excitement, right? That thing that happened in the first from the top and the bottom of the deck, which is like, oh, it's here and this. Don't get too excited though. Don't get attached to the outcome. It's like holding back the excitement and also the immaturity here. Not wanting to be immature and do anything to jeopardize this future that she's kind of psychically tapped into right now. The top of the deck for the heart space is the Sun. But I knocked the cards down, and for some reason today, my cards are like doing this kind of thing where they like spin. It's not doing it because it has to be down here, but so it spun around. I can't remember if it was originally upright or not. So we're going to have to read it as a shifty energy, which corresponds in such a lovely way to this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which is like your material happiness is here, but you want to release the attachment to the outcome. So the heart space is doing that same dance. Oh, so happy. And then the head space is like, nope, just, yeah, don't get too excited. And then the heart space has to respond with like kind of holding back on that happiness, on that feeling of bliss. And it's a protective thing that's happening because the niggling feeling is this 5 of Pentacles energy, which is, yeah, but I'm still in the cold though. Don't get too excited because as far as I know, I'm not getting any messages, direct and clear messages. But the head space is countering heart space's fears today with the Queen of Cups and Strength. It's like, no, you are afraid because of your ego. And that is not what is true. You can see the truth right now, Divine Feminine. It's very clear, the situation. You are getting messages, right? You are. So Divine Feminine's got to work on that 5 of Pentacles energy in the heart space because it's underlying everything right now. And it's that fear of being left out in the cold and not being able to get you to experience the happiness that you desire. The next card is the 5 of Wands in reverse, which came out yesterday in the reading. And I thought was a very positive message because whenever I see the 5 of Wands in reverse, I get a sense of unblocking that's going on. Whatever was blocking you is released. And in this case, it was Divine Feminine's ego that was blocking her from feeling this happiness that's there. It's been here all along. It's been here the whole time. It wasn't lost. It wasn't gone. It's always been there within Divine Feminine, that happiness. And she's like, oh, my ego convinced me, first of all, that I wasn't worthy of what I wanted. And then when I did get what I wanted, it convinced me that it wasn't what I wanted. And she's unblocking this energy where the ego is making these decisions for her. This Queen of Cups upright now is being clarified, oh my Lanta, the next card, by the 4 of Voices from the Muse Tarot, or the 4 of Swords energy in reverse. So this is having gone through a lot of grief and finally starting to recover from it. It can also be that there might be some in the collective who are still resisting fully processing their grief about the struggles, about the situation. But I think it's mostly about breaking silence and starting to be more expressive and feeling like you have the command of your emotions to do so. This 2 of Swords in reverse. The Lovers, which we've already seen today in Divine Masculine headspace. So this is very in tune energy. And for Divine Feminine, she's decided, the choice is really about coming into union with that part, sacred part of self. That is what she wants to do. On this Lovers card, in this deck, the lovers aren't together. They're apart from each other. And in the center is this lotus. And my reading of this card is, we see these body parts here mirrored. These are the only aspects that are touching, but the actual individuals themselves are here. And what unites them is their shared enlightenment of the mirroring that takes place between them. This is the end result of the twin flame journey. Oh, it was never about you. It was about inside of us the integration and the understanding of blending both aspects of self. Which is beautiful. The next card up is the 10 of Cups, or I'm sorry, 10 of Pentacles again, not 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles again in reverse, clarifying this 8 of Wands in reverse. And this is exactly what I said was going on in the top of the deck for the headspace. There is a sense that her material fulfillment is on its way. It could be slowed down right now. It could be a feeling of almost there. It could be a feeling that she's slowing it down a little bit. It could also just be that she feels that she needs to be cautious about it. Not be attached to the outcome. So she might feel like slowing the roll a little bit because she wants to really not be attached to this outcome. And who is she clear about? I love this. Queen of Pentacles, matching the King of Pentacles. There's your pair. But who dictated, who was the DJ today? Nikki, right? Who played through the entire shuffle? Usually I get up to 3 songs during a shuffle. Today I get 1 song, and it's the Queen's song. So Divine Feminine's new awareness, her new ideas, is that this wasn't the King of Pentacles, was it? No, it's the Queen. It's the idea that the Queen herself is whole. And it's also this ability to see herself as this abundant Queen of Pentacles. This Page energy in reverse. This is being clarified by the heart space. 5 of Swords in reverse. It's, don't fight it. Her head is like, I don't want to get excited. And her heart's like, no, honey. Don't fight it. Don't fight the excitement. Don't. Let yourself feel excited. Stop thinking so much about what it means if you're excited. Because here's your process. If I get excited about this, it's foolish. It's foolish for me to get excited about this 10 of Pentacles. Because if I have an idea of what it's supposed to be and I don't get it, I'm going to feel like shit. So it's really, really foolish for me to get my hopes up, for me to get excited. But that's because you are, in your excitement, you build your expectations and they are specific and detailed. Go general. This is the best advice from Abraham Hicks. Go general. Be excited. If you're like, yeah, but if I get excited and it doesn't happen, don't be excited about it happening. Be excited about the potential for it to happen. Be excited about the fact that you are shifting your energy and that every day you get to shift into this energy. Be excited about that. That's what the heart space is saying. It's saying, don't fight it. Do not use your head to try to suppress this excitement. Do not do that. You block your own happiness this way. Be excited. When you feel fear, go general. That's it. Just go general. And I see you there, Kai. Thank you for joining. All right, we're heading into the oracles for divine masculine energy. So here's the advice for being able to come into alignment. Divine masculine energy was looking really good today. Both of y'all are looking really good. Your worthiness is up there. Your emotional mastery is either in full command or getting there. You're like really, it's really clear that the last things you have to deal with are just like Divine Feminine is doing, the ego fears, and being able to distinguish those. All right, Divine Masculine. we're using the Sluttist Tarot today to take a look at the sexual energy in the union. Sexual energy being sexy times, but also it is about creative energy, Kundalini energy, the ability to create and manifest something new. Divine Masculine, you are getting the 7 of Wands in reverse today. So you are feeling like you are not going to fight off Divine Feminine energy or restrict yourself towards her in any way. You are feeling like in the past you were fighting her off. You were fighting off the ability to come into union. And you're no longer in that resistant energy anymore. You're not going to stand your ground against Divine Feminine. And instead, you want to be able to, 8 of Wands, go towards her with incredible speed. All right, you're in the light attributes of the Avenger, which is the desire to balance the scales of justice and righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And there's also that cape there, which has all of this world map on it. So I see travel for you. And it's this, when we have the Avenger, it's like wanting to avenge the union sort of, or wanting to protect. And we saw the Queen of Cups in reverse too. So you have this very protective feeling right now. Like you have found something really sacred, really incredible. You have something really special and you're protecting the hell out of it right now. But for a change, it's not your career. It's not your image or outside persona. It's not past energy. It's not protecting others from this knowledge of Divine Feminine, because the star was all over your spread. It is about revealing the Divine Feminine. You're wanting to protect her in revealing her, but you are planning to do it. You're also getting the Priest energy in reverse, which is violates the trust of your spiritual community and seduced by your own spiritual role. And the light attributes are facilitating spiritual commitments and serves as a channel of spiritual energy. You know, I actually think that I'm called, you are actually not in the shadow. When I look at this, I think that you think you are in the shadow. I think you believe you are violating the trust of your spiritual community from the past. The one with rigid, limiting beliefs that you would see here from the Hierophant. So I actually think that this is a card that's meant for me to give you this message that you are not in shadow. You are not violating the trust of a healthy, balanced spiritual community. You are facilitating spiritual commitments right now. So I would just encourage you to release this fear. You cannot violate man's law. Like, it's man's law, not God's law. It's not written in your heart. If it's written in your heart and you violate it, that is your own belief, like from the divine. But if it's written in a book on a page by someone else, there is an ego in between the message and the page. And there are some able to write without ego, and there are others who cannot. Like, you can just grab a Bible and flip through, and there are some books in there that are written as messages very clearly, and there are others where the ego is hidden. Right? If you look at St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, St. Paul wasn't even a contemporary of Jesus. He was after Jesus. And he never heard Jesus say anything about homosexuality because Jesus was never documented to have said anything about that. And yet we find rampant references to many things in St. Paul that never appeared anywhere before that in the words of Christ. We consider the whole Bible messages. There are messages in St. Paul's letters. There's mysticism there. However, there's a big old repressed homosexual ego in there too. Just saying. Right? You can't violate man's law. St. Paul is not God. He is a vessel, an imperfect vessel, whoever that individual was, right? You can't violate man's law. It's not even a real thing. It's an illusion. It's not based on anything. You're getting support here from your guardian angels right now because you are receiving a lot of abundance at the moment. And that good fortune coming from the Wheel of Fortune card, there's a lot of abundance here. You're getting this friendship card in reverse, and I just think you're being so serious, babes. Oh, your energy is like this plotting, protective, lighten up, have some fun. It's all going to be okay. And also, I think that there is a need here for you to look around at your friendships and assess them and, you know, really be discerning about who is in your corner and who's really not serving you at the moment. You got 1 million Moonology cards today. Well, you only got 4, but it's because I put like 20 of them back into the deck. And then more came out. I was like, okay. So you have a lot of Moonology today. This one is hold your vision. Luck is on your side, which is emphasized. And we already got the Wheel of Fortune for you today. A new romantic cycle begins. And what does it mean when it's reversed for me? It means, bro, it's already started up. And be bold and make the first move. So hold your vision. Luck is on your side. This new romantic cycle is popping. Just be bold right now and make the first move. And y'all gonna be okay. And then you're getting awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You are really woke though. You are really awakened at this moment. You have experienced upgrades, and this new romantic cycle, this new way of being is possible for you. And then you're getting this again, what you got the other day. Elephant spirit. Learn from the past. Don't resist the lessons of the past. Learn from them. Sometimes we would like to just forget about it and move on and but we can't just walk away from it and forget it. We have to look at it and see what it's showing us, because that information will help us to navigate our future. All right, Divine Feminine, let's look at your sexual energy. Cannot. What the hell? Apparently I'm British now too. What the hell? I can't believe it. You got the fucking 10 of Pentacles here. You got the 10 of Pentacles here. And now you've got the 10 of Pentacles here again. All right, I'll stop being British for some reason. What? What? Okay. Well, the way you feel about your happiness is how you feel about your sexuality right now. You're like, my material realization of physical union is right on the tip of my tongue, but it is not going to here yet, though. I don't want to be attached to who exactly I'm going to be doing the sexy times with, but I know I'm going to be doing these sexy times real quick, though. I wish I could make this up, but I cannot. You're in the light attributes right now of King energy, which is benevolent, enlightened leadership benefiting those in your charge. You don't have excessive feelings of entitlement or rulership without restraint. So you are being your own King of Pentacles, your own Queen of Pentacles. You're really enlightened. You're benevolent. You're kind. You're not being like, you know, really bitter towards divine masculine energy if he takes a long time, or if he does something he's done before. You're just kind of like, okay, babe. All right, you know, I'm going to take the lead here. I'm just going to keep working on me. and feeling good about myself because there ain't nothing I can do about you. Right? Here's your guardian angel to help you hold your vision, because you need to do that. You also might want to get your vision checked. I don't usually have that feeling, but I just got that feeling and I could really use new glasses. So maybe do this. Go get your vision checked. But you know that you have vision because you have this Ace of Swords. You have clarity. Now what your vision is, this Queen of Pentacles, you have to hold it. And you can't do that alone. So your guardian angel is here to support you in that process. Forgiveness. Your Queen of Cups is upright, and a Queen of Cups upright is incredibly forgiving because she's very understanding. She's very empathetic. She's very psychic and sensitive. And the forgiveness that has to take place is always a forgiveness of self. You know, we're told like, oh, when forgiveness is for other people. It is. The forgiveness that you do is the forgiveness toward yourself, because the reason why you're mean to other people when you're pissed off at them is because you're pissed at yourself for letting whatever happened happen to you. You feel that you should have been able to control it and you didn't. And it doesn't matter how restricted you were. It doesn't matter if you were a tiny baby. You still have this feeling of like, I shouldn't have chosen that, or I shouldn't have come, like, or I should have spoken out. I should have asked for help. I should have indicated in some way. I should have told somebody when I got old enough. I should have, any terrible thing that happens to us, for the most part, we have some kind of a wound that we blame ourselves for. And when we do forgiveness work for someone else, the first thing you do is go and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not telling. Forgive yourself for allowing it or feeling like you did, whatever it is. That work opens our heart. It allows us to be empathetic and compassionate, which is what allows us to extend forgiveness to someone else. New beginning. You got the Fool card already. This is new beginning. It's here. It's present. It's good that you're keeping this Ten of Pentacles in reverse right now, where you're like, I got what I want, but I don't know exactly what it's going to look like or how it's going to go. Good. Stay right there in that place where you know you have what you want and it feels good, but you don't know exactly what that means. And you're just going to let the divine reveal it to you. Have faith in your dreams. Sisterhood of the Rose and Soul Family are coming out together, and this is poignant for me because I'm about to go have my coven meeting, which I have on Mondays. So turn to your sisters, turn to your soul family, turn to your tribe. We're also seeing this mirrored image here, which I always think about as twin flames, or like a soulmate, somebody that's a mirror image of your soul. And it's call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. With sisterhood, beauty, devotion, mystic, priestess, teacher. I think this is about turning to, if you've been wanting to schedule or book a reading or book a spiritual counseling session or something like that, it might be time to do that. You might need extra help. You might need to turn to your sisters for some guidance, but you don't have to do what you're doing alone right now. And finally, you must tune in to the portal of your heart with this devotion to your relationship, the most important relationship you have, the one with spirit. Far more important than any person that you meet in this lifetime is that relationship with spirit. So you must call in your soul tribe, ask them to help you and support you, and then tune into that portal of the heart. Find that faith in your dreams. And then lay a solid foundation. So make sure that you are co-creating with spirit, that you are not building your dreams on anything that's like shifting or moving, but is really, really solid. This in reverse is not so solid, right? This is extremely solid. And the offer that's coming, it's solid. This is what you want to build your foundation on. And I just want to look in the book quick and make sure I didn't miss any messages from the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle. Oh, I just always love this part, so I'll read this. If, with the spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith, for with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. Beautiful. All right, let's get the final oracle cards for the union. These are the things that you are both sharing. Your sexual energy for the union is the Two of Wands, which I love this Two of Wands card. It's fantastic because the two wands are those two wands. And it's in reverse, just like Divine Masculine's card, because he felt that it is time now to complete this journey. It's time now to come together. There's no more waiting. There's no more what's going to happen. Are we there yet? It's we have arrived and it's time to get busy with those two wands. You know what I'm saying? And then we're getting the Knight attributes, which is loyalty, romance, and chivalry, and a love of honor. So you are both in the light of this energy. You are in a healthy romance. You're very loyal to one another. You're chivalrous. You no longer have romantic delusions. You're really clear. Saint Dymphna is here with an emphasis, guiding you with your emotions. So just a reminder to constantly, when you feel the emotion, it's your job at that point to make a decision about how you want to feel. If you want to feel better, go general, reaching for a better feeling thought. If you feel like you need to sit in some of the emotion and just feel the emotion and, maybe not feel better right away, then do that. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It doesn't matter if you resist your emotions guiding you for years. It doesn't matter. Throughout those years, you're still going to have extremely valuable experiences. You're going to have days where you had a lot of happiness, days where you had a lot of sadness. You're going to have maybe more sad days than others if you choose not to feel better. But it's literally not a bad thing. It's divine timing. So it's just this reminder from Spirit that all you have to do is continue to let your emotions guide you where you want to go. And anytime you don't, that's okay too. It's part of the journey. Your financial health is about to have an overhaul. It's about to explode. Like wherever it was now, you both can't even imagine where it's going. And one of you maybe has a lot of wealth and the other hasn't had a lot of wealth. Well, the person who's had a lot of wealth, they can't even imagine. They can't even imagine right now how much wealth is coming. That's why they're getting the Blessings of Abundance card. Because their guardian angel is here to be like, bro, you're going to need some help handling this kind of coin. And there's my twins. Communication is key. It is time for you to communicate. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. So you are really doing amazing work here. You are breaking a chain that comes from, it's ancient, and bringing in a new beginning for your line. And then we're getting Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibility. And we're getting the protection message, so let's look at it. And I love the open to infinite possibility because Divine Feminine's 10 of Pentacles all over the place, where she's like, I have this bliss right now, but I'm open to its infinite possibility. When cynicism says no, Starfish Spirit says yes 1,000 times over. Are you willing to entertain new possibilities? Are you limiting your goals in order to be realistic and cutting yourself off from the power of dreaming big? Let go of your rigid beliefs about what is possible for you, and let Starfish Spirit inspire you to open your heart and your eyes to what Spirit has available to you. Now is the time to stretch beyond the familiar and unfurl yourself, for you are meant for more than you are imagining for yourself. Spirit wants the best for you and will support you in achieving whatever intention you hold dear. So, dream big and open yourself up to this infinite possibility. All right, let's close out the reading with my Island Time Wellness cards. And this will be our advice for today. What can we do today to shift into union if we are currently in separation? Thank you so much for joining me here today. Please like and subscribe and follow. This is going to come out on YouTube. I try to post it onto YouTube every day after the reading, so it's a little easier to watch since the readings are kind of on the long side. So always look forward to that too. If you miss a live reading with me, you can always catch me over on YouTube a little bit later in the day, depending on my I can't even talk today Wi-Fi signal. There we go. All right. Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Here's your advice for today. Divine Masculine. Oh, before I do that, there is a giveaway happening if you would like the opportunity to win a free reading from me. On my profile, there's a giveaway post, and I'm going to post it again on my story. So if you don't see it right away when you go over to look at my page, it will be on my stories. And the giveaway is if you go and comment different spreads, tarot spreads, or ideas for wildcard readings, and follow the instructions in the post, you will have the opportunity to win a roughly 90-ish minutes personal counseling session, either via video chat or I can pre-record something, however you like, but your own personal reading, which is about $100 value. So if you are interested in that, please go ahead and participate in that giveaway, and I will put it in my stories today. Okay, Divine Masculine, here's the advice. You're getting the Chaser and Karmic Relationship, and it says Chaser and codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue, and then Karmic Relationship is fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So here you go, babes. Today, you really got to let go of this karmic relationship. And I don't think you're currently in this relationship. That was not my perception at all from the reading. But the abandonment issues that ended up coming from this relationship, I think you actually experienced another relationship with a karmic chaser. And it is possible that that karmic chaser is still present in your life and still causing issues. That person has a fear of abandonment issues, and so they still, they have resentment towards you. They're having a hard time letting go of you. That's the other aspect here. And what I'm being called to remind you is that if you are experiencing that type of a karmic energy, it's because of your own fear of abandonment issue inside of you. So you need to learn the lessons that karmic is showing you. There is this codependent relationship and a fear of abandonment. So you really need to work on that. Today, you have to let go of that past chaser, fully let her go, and love you. Divine Feminine, you are getting healthy choices in reverse and coffee cup in reverse. So let's look at it. Making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, and being happier. With meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, and feeling uplifted, and friendship. Okay. Divine Feminine, you have been feeling like you will be happier once you can have this meeting or conversation And you're being told right now that you need to make healthy choices in love and life by self-love and self-care. And that this conversation or this meeting, this other individual or being with this other individual, it is the need for this to make you happier that is why you're not currently feeling your best. So you need to take care of yourself and give yourself your own happiness, your own friendship, your own conversation, really. Give yourself the things that you think you will make you feel happier when you get this meeting or this conversation. Once you do that, once you start to just do that self-care, do that self-love or whatever, you're going to be able to have that uplifted feeling and attract in that energy to be able to experience it. And finally, you are getting butterfly, which is, this is the bottom card for the two of you. This is relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, and growth. So you're doing all right. Just keep on keeping on. That's all we can do, really. Thank you so much for joining me. If you didn't have a chance, I did a collaborative live reading yesterday with Grace Strega. That's available on my profile page. And we do that every week. So I will see you next week at the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific Coast, 3 p.m. Eastern for that reading with Grace Strega. Otherwise, every morning I shall appear. I guess I'm doing Instagram Live right now. And then, of course, posting over to YouTube as well. And I might do YouTube Live. I don't know what's going on, but I'll let you know. You just got to follow me here and subscribe on YouTube for all of the content. I also have a Patreon. There's a link in my bio, which looks really messy right now, but you can get to my YouTube and my Patreon from there. And I do have additional content available through Patreon. I'm trying to remember everything that I need to say. I think that's everything for now. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you again. Oh, I know. I have a day off tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off. I do not read live on Tuesdays. I do not read any cards on Tuesdays. But I usually post additional content. However, I'm being a little flexible with myself today. I may not have time to post a reading for tomorrow, so it's possible that I will not have a new reading available, but there's plenty of old readings that are timeless you can click through. Also, feel free to click on that Patreon link to see the additional content that's available there to subscribers. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Take care.